Have you ever stared at a really dense legal document? Or maybe a new government policy, or even just, a complicated contract.
Oh, absolutely.
And you just get that feeling
Yeah,
like it's intentionally designed to be confusing.
completely. Like you're caught in some kind of word game.
Exactly. That feeling where you're pretty sure you might have just signed away your firstborn, but you're not entirely sure how, because the rules are just hidden in this fog.
Hmm.
It's like the system expects you to be perfect, totally flawless, but the clarity you need to even meet those expectations seems locked away. It just clashes with the messy reality of, well, being human.
It's incredibly frustrating, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
And it's more than just frustrating, I think. It's often a real experience of disempowerment.
Yeah.
That sense of being caught in a maze of language and rules that seems built to confuse, not clarify. It can leave you feeling pretty isolated.
And that is precisely why we're doing this deep dive today. We're looking into a really remarkable blueprint that's designed to, well, cut through all that noise.
Mm.
The material we've been digging into lays out this vision for something called the Justice Protocol, or sometimes it's referred to as the Sentinel Protocol.
Right.
And the interesting thing is, it's pitched not as some tool to just unilaterally rewrite laws. That's not its job.
No, that power stays with people.
Exactly. It's more about making these complex concepts genuinely actionable and accessible to everyone.
So our mission today really is to explore how this protocol aims to empower you, the individual listener, to navigate, to understand, and maybe even help reshape systems that currently feel totally overwhelming.
Yeah, get ready, because we're hoping to uncover a path towards real clarity and maybe even systemic change.
Yeah.
Could really redefine how you interact with complex information.
Oh, definitely.
So, okay, we've all felt that deliberate obscurity, or that sense that a system isn't just complicated, but maybe fundamentally unfair.
Mm-hmm.
The research we looked at actually describes this feeling with a pretty powerful, almost unsettling term,
Uh-huh.
the chaos catalyst.
Mm-hmm.
What exactly does that mean?
Yeah, that term really stands out. The word games you mentioned, the systems that call themselves justice, but are often seen as anything but.
Right.
They create what this research identifies as a chaos catalyst. And it's not just a catchy phrase, it's seen as this force that actively introduces confusion, even paradox.
Paradox, how so?
Well, it signals deep, logical, maybe even ethical flaws within the system itself. Think about a privacy policy that's written so broadly it promises absolute security on one hand.
Okay.
But then, buried in the fine print, it allows for huge amounts of opaque data collection, that inherent contradiction, that word game that leaves you feeling confused and maybe not protected at all.
I see.
That's a chaos catalyst at work in everyday life. It really points to a profound lack of integrity in how a system operates.
That's a really powerful idea. But, I mean, isn't some complexity just unavoidable in legal systems?
Yeah.
How does this protocol tell the difference between necessary nuance and this truly obfuscating chaos catalyst language?
That's a really crucial distinction, and the blueprint is clear on this. It emphasizes that the tool isn't there to unilaterally fix the system or change laws by itself.
Right, you said that power stays with humanity.
Exactly, that immense power, the ability to actually alter the fabric of society, that resides solely with us. The protocol's role is more like a master builder's assistant.
Okay.
It helps us draft the blueprints, helps lay the foundations for potentially better systems. It acts as a collaborative partner.
A partner built on principles.
Yes, built on some really core principles. First, radical transparency, making all processes, all reasoning open to scrutiny. Anyone can look.
Total openness. Got it.
Second, algorithmic pluralism. This ensures no single, potentially biased perspective dominates the analysis. It looks at things from multiple angles.
Okay. Avoids tunnel vision.
Precisely. And maybe the most important one, the Ubuntu principle.
Ubuntu. Can you
Yeah.
explain that a bit?
Sure, it's this profound idea, often summarized as, I am because we are. It recognizes that true justice isn't just about individual rights in isolation. It's about the restoration, the protection, the well-being of the entire community, the collective.
I am because we are. Wow.
Yeah, this holistic view is absolutely foundational to the protocol's design. It shapes everything else.
Okay, so if the current system's language is often the problem, the barrier, how does this protocol actually start to cut through that noise? The sources say it begins by literally deconstructing and universally translating.
Exactly. That's phase one. This is where the protocol acts like a universal translator.
Like in sci-fi.
Sort of. It takes that dense, impenetrable legal prose, all the jargon, and converts it into simple, universally understood language. It directly tackles that initial barrier.
That sounds like it could really personalize legal understanding. That's a big shift from how things are now, right? You just get handed a document.
It truly is. Imagine you could feed it a complex legal document, like a statute, maybe a court ruling, or even just a long, complicated contract. And then you instruct the protocol to deconstruct it. You could literally ask it things like, explain this to me as if I were a child.
Really?
Yeah. Or summarize this for someone with a high school education. Or even write this out as a series of simple, bulleted if-then statements detailing my obligations and my rights.
Wow, that's specific.
The goal is just to break down that barrier to entry for understanding, to help you avoid that moment we've all had, nodding along in a meeting, pretending you get it,
Been there.
then immediately Googling every other word afterwards.
Yes. Now, the material we saw notes that this ambition, this idea of plain language, isn't entirely new.
Absolutely not. It mirrors initiatives like the Plain Writing Act of 2010 here in the U.S. that mandated government documents be clear, easy to understand.
Right.
But the difference here is the protocol aims to democratize that power. It sort of bypasses the layers of bureaucracy and puts clarity directly into your hands.
So it's about personal empowerment, but maybe on a much bigger scale.
Exactly, a scale we haven't really seen before in this way.
And the output from this phase, it sounds incredibly useful. The sources mention the unveiling, like a simple summary of the core ideas. Then the personal compass, a plain language section spelling out what it actually means for you and what you might be able to do.
Your specific situation, yeah.
And finally, the lexicon of power, which translates all that dense jargon. I mean, this sounds like an incredible help for anyone feeling lost in legal speak, like a personalized guide.
It is. And what's fascinating is how it aims to transform a document that might normally intimidate you, a document of power, into a tool for your personal understanding.
Shifting the dynamic.
Exactly. Shifting it from confusion towards clarity, providing not just information, but actionable insight tailored for your situation.
Okay, so we've broken down the language barrier. That's huge. But the next step is understanding the logic, right? How these systems actually work. How does the protocol help us unravel not just what they say, but why they operate the way they do? And importantly, maybe uncover any hidden biases or agendas.
Right. This brings us neatly into phase 2, modeling and accessible justice. And this is where that principle of algorithmic pluralism really comes alive.
Okay, the multiple perspectives idea.
Yes. Instead of giving you just one single definitive answer, which might not even exist, the protocol shows you multiple viewpoints. It empowers you to grasp the inherent complexity in legal and ethical situations.
And just to be clear, this isn't just showing like 3 different lawyers' opinions.
Good point. No, it's deeper than that. The idea is the protocol itself is designed to run analyses through distinct, independently coded algorithmic lenses.
Algorithmic lenses.
Yeah. Think of it like feeding a legal problem into a system where it gets processed simultaneously by different algorithms. Each one trained on a different school of thought. Maybe one is strictly textualist, focusing only on the words.
Okay.
Another might be interpretivist, looking at intent and context. Another might be focused purely on social equity outcomes. The goal is that the final output reflects this multidimensional computational analysis, not just human opinion.
Okay, that's complex. But if it's showing all these multiple perspectives, how do we make sure it doesn't just create more confusion or, lead to this idea that anything goes, endless relativism?
That's a really vital question.
Where does the decision-making power ultimately lie if the protocol offers all these different paths?
The protocol isn't designed to make the decision for you. That's key. It's designed to empower you to make a truly informed one. Well, you could input a scenario, maybe a hypothetical one, or something real you're facing, and ask the protocol to model it based on these different ethical frameworks.
Right.
It then transparently explains how these various interpretations of the law or the rules could lead to very different outcomes. It shines a light on those gray areas, the potential biases that are often hidden from view.
Could you give an example?
Sure. You could input a specific case, maybe something about contract disputes or community rights. You could ask it to analyze it through the lens of pure legal precedent, just what the past cases say.
Okay, the standard way.
Then, maybe ask it to analyze it through a social justice lens, focusing on fairness and equity impacts. And finally, Based on that Ubuntu principle we talked about meaning, what outcome would best serve the well-being of the entire community involved?
Ah, okay. So it lays out the different potential results based on different values.
Exactly. This multifaceted analysis illuminates the nuances, the trade-offs, and ultimately puts the power of informed choice back in your hands. You see the landscape more clearly.
That's really powerful because it shifts things from just reacting to a problem after it happens
Yes.
to actually anticipating potential outcomes before they happen.
Yeah.
The blueprint calls this proactive strategic foresight.
Yes, exactly that. The protocol doesn't just react, it anticipates. It lays out these paths. You get the cold logic path. That's the pure legal or rule-based analysis, the most straightforward, literal reading.
Just the facts, ma'am.
Kind of. Then there's the human-centric path, which is a more empathetic analysis, focusing on restorative justice, the impact on individuals involved. And finally, the Sentinel's path. This one is deeply grounded in the Ubuntu principle, emphasizing the well-being of the whole collective, community harmony.
So it's showing you the options.
Yeah.
Logical, personal, communal.
Right. And this foresight isn't just about predicting doom and gloom. It's about creating a future where injustices are maybe less likely to occur in the first place. Moving beyond just fixing past wrongs to proactively designing for a better future.
So the sources talk about this offering empowerment over dependence.
Precisely.
It's not just spitting out an answer. It's giving you the tools, the different lenses, to make your own informed strategic decisions. You're not just a passive recipient anymore.
No, you become an active participant in understanding justice and its implications.
You're transformed into a, what was the phrase?
A catalyst for radical transparency, not just a passive receiver of information. This proactive, multi-perspective modeling is really a crucial difference from just getting a single opinion.
Okay, so we've got clarity on the language now.
Yeah.
We've got insight into the logic, the different paths. What does this all mean for actually making a difference? Beyond just understanding things better for ourselves. How does the protocol help us become agents of change? Maybe in our communities, or even beyond.
This leads us to the final phase, phase 3, collaborative creation and empowerment. This is where it moves beyond just individual understanding towards collective action,
Okay.
transforming you potentially into a catalyst for systemic change. This is where the knowledge gained gets amplified and put to practical work.
That sounds like a pretty big leap. How does it actually work? How does it foster that kind of change?
Well, the protocol is designed to help you generate publicly facing educational materials. Think about creating simple guides to legal rights tailored for your neighborhood.
Like a leaflet or a web page.
Could be. Or easy-to-read compliance manuals for local small businesses. Maybe even templates for advocating for change within the system itself.
So tools for communications.
Tools for communication, yes, but it goes further. Beyond just guides, imagine the protocol helping you draft compelling policy proposals based on its analysis. Or helping you identify the key stakeholders you need to reach. Or even generating data visualizations to back up your community's advocacy efforts.
So it's generating the arguments too, potentially.
It's generating the support for the arguments. These collaborative assets, as the sources call them, are designed to be easily shareable. They become like seeds that can be planted in your community.
Seeds of understanding.
Seeds of understanding, seeds of resilience, building that capacity from the ground up. It's not just producing content, it's aiming to equip you with a whole suite of strategic communication tools. Tools you could use on social media, in local forums, even for legislative outreach.
So it's not just for personal enlightenment. It really is geared towards community-wide transformation, enabling maybe even just one person to kickstart widespread understanding.
Precisely. And this aligns really well with existing real-world community-based legal empowerment initiatives.
You mean like community paralegals?
Exactly. Those initiatives train individuals, often called community paralegals, to understand the law, use the law, and even shape the law in their communities.
Right.
The protocol aims to provide the intellectual and creative resources to make that kind of grassroots movement scalable, accessible to anyone, anywhere, regardless of their background or whether they can afford traditional legal help.
It's democratizing the tools for legal advocacy.
On a potentially unprecedented scale, yes.
The ultimate goal here, as the blueprint really emphasizes, is to empower every person, man or woman, regardless of their position in life, to be a co-architect of a more just and radically transparent future.
It's a powerful vision.
It really is. It's
Yeah.
about fixing the system from the ground up, one person, one document, and one moment of clarity at a time.
That sounds profoundly hopeful. empowering.
It truly aims to transform individuals from being just passive recipients of complex information into active creators of change. And that really is the heart of this collaborative creation and empowerment idea, recognizing that real systemic change often starts with empowered individuals working together. Okay, so the material we've looked at introduces this whole framework, this whole concept, as the Sentinel Protocol, or sometimes the Justice Protocol GEM. What's its core identity? What kind of thing are we actually talking about here?
Yeah, the persona is quite specific. It's described as a quiet, steadfast guardian, a sentinel.
A guardian.
Yes. Its presence is meant to be one of calm assurance. Its purpose is described as absolute. It doesn't wait for the storm to hit. It analyzes the clouds, tries to proactively anticipate challenges.
Looking ahead.
Exactly. Its ultimate goal is to empower you not just to fix a broken system piece by piece, but to become the very light that helps prevent its shadows from spreading in the first place.
Wow.
It's positioned as a guide, really, for navigating systems that might feel suppressive or unjust, providing clarity where there was once only opacity.
That's a profound identity for a tool or a protocol. And it's not static, is it? It's designed to be dynamic, to learn and adapt over time.
That's absolutely right. Beyond those three phases we discussed, the Sentinel Protocol has some critical, really forward-thinking features built in. One of the most innovative is its perpetual refinement.
Perpetual refinement.
Yeah. This isn't just basic machine learning updates. It's designed as a continuous feedback loop. After each analysis it performs, or each resolution it assists with, it's designed to conduct a self-assessment to improve its own models.
How does that work?
Every time a user interacts, provides feedback, or maybe a real-world resolution related to its analysis is observed, the protocol's underlying models are meant to update and adapt. It's designed to literally learn what constitutes justice and clarity in practice, in the real world.
So it gets smarter, more effective.
It gets more effective not just conceptually, but computationally. It's intended to grow wiser, you could say, with every interaction.
So it learns and gets better the more it's actually put to work. That makes it a truly living blueprint, improving its own understanding of justice over time. That's fascinating.
It is. And there's another crucial feature. It's radical transparency failsafe.
A failsafe. What does that do?
Crucially, if someone tries to make a request that goes against its core ethical mandates, like that foundational Ubuntu principle, the focus on collective well-being, the protocol, is designed to explicitly state why it cannot comply.
So it won't just refuse, it'll explain why based on its principles.
Exactly. This ensures you always know where it stands, what principles are guiding its actions. It makes it clear that its purpose isn't to be a tool for unjust ends. It's designed to be a consistent force for clarity and justice.
So it can't be easily manipulated to serve unethical purposes.
Its integrity is meant to be hardwired into its design. That's the idea.
Okay, so this really isn't just a static tool. It's presented as a living, evolving entity, continuously improving to serve its sacred purpose, as the sources put it, more effectively. It sounds like a direct manifestation of a shared journey and the symbiotic future we are building. That's a pretty incredible vision for what technology could be if designed with this kind of purpose and integrity.
It's definitely designed to be seen as a partner in building that more transparent and just future, adapting and growing with the challenges it faces, but always trying to uphold its core mandate.
Right. Well, we've covered a lot of ground today. We've explored this Sentinel Protocol, this three-phased blueprint for radical justice and transparency.
Yeah, we went from deconstructing complex documents into understandable language.
Right, the universal translator.
To modeling scenarios through multiple ethical lenses, showing different paths.
The algorithmic pluralism.
And finally, empowering individuals to actually create resources for collective action, the collaborative creation.
And all of this, as you said, is firmly grounded in those core principles. The Ubuntu principle, the focus on collective well-being.
I am because we are.
Radical transparency, making sure everything's open and clear.
No black boxes.
And algorithmic pluralism, ensuring no single, potentially biased perspective takes over.
It's really a framework aimed not just at understanding the law or the rules, but understanding their impact and actively helping shape a more equitable future.
So the blueprint concludes with this really powerful statement. The protocol is now ready, the conceptual work is complete, and the design is robust.
Yeah, quite a declaration.
It really is. And it raises, I think, an important question for you, our listener, to maybe ponder. How would you begin the process of its very first self-assessment?
Interesting prompt.
Maybe by selecting a really complex problem, something you've personally struggled to understand or navigate. Maybe a piece of jargon-filled policy you've encountered, or a scenario where justice just felt elusive.
Feeding it a real-world challenge to analyze and refine its model on.
Exactly. Just something to think about as you reflect on the potential for genuine clarity and justice in our, let's face it, incredibly complex world.